Greetings and salutations, everyone. We're here to do another video with your very own Uncle Nicky. I want to give a shout out first to my friend Michael, and also to all the visionaries and the mystics out there. But you gotta be quiet, because the baby's sleeping. So shut up back there, and make sure you're quiet. We're coming to you today with a couple of books from the thrift store that I found for cheap. So here we go. Let's jump right in. The first book I found was very interesting. It's called Bible Manners and Customs by George Mackey. George Mackey. It's a nice old dust cover with a lot of advertisements on the back. From New Jersey. I knew a guy once from New Jersey. He wasn't very nice. Bible Customs and Manners. Now, what attracted me to this book first was that it was $1. And second, that it gives a lot of illustrations and a preface, pictures, and all kinds of things. But what's most interesting about this... Shut up back there! What's most interesting about this book is that it gives you all the Bible background on all sorts of things. Let me show you the table of contents if my fingers are awake and I can get there. Here's the table of contents. You have everything from climate to domestic life and family relationships to social, political, and religious life. I have a hard time with family relationships. People say I don't love women. Are you kidding me? I was married to 4. How can I not like women? All right, let's jump right in. So what it does is, in some form or fashion, kind of like different atlas or something, it gives you the topic, and then it talks about that thing. And I noticed a few things that were awfully fishy, like this. When it talks about the Middle East, pictures, first of all, when it talks about the Middle East, somebody didn't tell this guy that he's not politically correct, and he's showing an anti-Asian bias. How? Look at that language. The Oriental mind and landscape. What guy uses Oriental anymore? I haven't heard that word since Brooklyn in 1964, and even then, it was not a nice word. But you can learn all sorts of things from this book, like masonry. Well, my favorite, page 95. Pictures, something that'll blow you away. Windows. I mean, have you ever thought, when you're reading the Bible, about the importance of windows? I mean, consider this. 4 friends wanting to get their sick friend to Jesus could only see Jesus through the window. And then there was a little kid to whom Paul was preaching. And what happened? He preached all night, and the kid fell out of the window. So it says here, window panes of glass are a recent introduction. No kidding. If there were windows, the kid wouldn't have fallen out of the window. And shut up back there. Stop laughing, Sister Saint. You're always laughing. Stop laughing. It ain't that funny. This is something that I really liked. You know those millstones that Jesus told you to put around your neck, which would be better than if you lusted after a woman? This is the kind of millstone you do. They're not Oreo cookies. They're huge pieces of stone you tie around your neck and then throw you off the bridge. Not a bad book. I like it. It's not bad at all. All kinds of neat things. Education. All kinds of things you've ever wondered about. Oh, maybe I should give the year. I forgot to give the year. I was too excited about all the other things that I forgot the year. There's no year in this. What kind of book is this? For crying out loud, let me see. All right, let's see here. For 20 years missionary at the Church of Scotland of Beirut, Old Tappan, New Jersey. When they don't give you the year, who trusts a person from New Jersey. I don't know. The next book is called Quiet Thoughts by Paul Mcelroy. I liked it because it was a thin book, and look at how much character this dust cover has. It's a thin book. You can put it in your pocket. You can read it on the subway. You can read it in the Staten Island ferry if you want. But all I know is that it's a book of different thoughts. I'm going to take the cover off so I don't rip it anymore. That's how it came. Don't blame me. It was only 50 cents after all. Let's see the copyright date. Illustrations by Stanley Clow. Peter Pauper Press. It's been around for a while from Mount Vernon. 1964 by Peter Pauper Press. I think they're still in business, although I'm not sure. I really like these illustrations. They're beautiful. A bunch of woodcuts with the nice green ink. Reminds me of my Scotch-Irish background. And what it does, basically, is talk about all kinds of encouragement and all kinds of deep spiritual truths. Like one spiritual truth on page 26 that caught my attention. Now check this out. Don't turn the video off just because it's 6 minutes and 30 seconds long. You can be patient for a minute. This ain't a tweet. There are more than 130 characters. Don't turn it off. Like and subscribe, if anything. Page 26, let me show you a truth called 5 Keys. In Durham Cathedral, there is an ironclad oaken chest with 5 locks. In olden days, each of the 5 church offices held a key to one of the 5 locks. And they, the bursar, the almoner, the sacrist, the hostler, and the verger, all had to be present and in agreement before the chest could be opened. Where in the world you gonna get a bursar? An almoner. I mean, I know guys who pick almonds in California, but you'd have to pay him a lot of money to bring him to Durham Cathedral. A sacrist, whatever that means. And a hostler. What are you trying to get robbed? I mean, what kind of book is this? It's crazy. But again, it's only 50 cents, and it spends a lot of time on death. I don't think I like that book very much. All right, the next... Shut up back there. The next book is Go Tell the People. Now, I didn't pick this up personally. I think this was a pick of Joe St. Benedictus because he collects books on preaching from the 30s and 40s and 20s and the 20th century. So he picked this up for a whopping $1, although I think he offered 60 cents and got a deal. It's a practical book on preaching, full of original suggestions and comments, which, if followed, will make any reader a better preacher. By Theodore Parker Ferris, who was a pastor, not in New Jersey, because you can't trust anyone in New Jersey, but in Boston. That's more like it. It looks like Joe St. Benedictus did not take Mamo's suggestion of using pencils, because he wrote in this with a red pen. The idiot. All right. It was published in 1951. Go tell it on the mountain to the people or wherever. The purpose, content, form of a sermon, and personal problems of the preacher. Now, personally, this caught my attention. Personal problems of a preacher? Since when you talk about that? We don't care what your problems are. You just preach, and we like it. And if you're good, we'll put more money in the coffers. As far as your problems are concerned, well, that's your business. But there are problems of preachers like this. A priest who is always under pressure, always in a hurry, always tense, is not likely to bring the peace of God, which passeth all understanding into the life of his people. For alas, it dwelleth not in him. What do you got to write in King James Version to get anything across? All right, here's one more ditty for you. In addition to allowing time for the preparation of a sermon, a preacher must somehow find time for idleness, for it is often in leisure when a man has to reflect, to let his imagination slip loose from its ordinary moorings, that not only the material, but the spirit of the Simon is found. That is a good point. And Jose Eggs said, "Shut up back there. The baby's sleeping." Said that was very true. He often gets sermon ideas when he's taking a walk or fixing his jalopy car, pulling weeds, or sometimes just spending a long time in the bathroom. All right, that's the last book. But I wanted to show you a new hobby, thanks to some friends on YouTube that we're getting into that of a pencil hobby. Check it out. I even got a box for all these newfound pencils from the thrift store. First of all, the best eraser is the Ticonderoga, the eraser that's shaped just like a pencil. Get the heck out of here. What irony is that? Let me show you some pencils I picked up at the thrift store, though I might have shown you these before. This is a pencil that's wood. It's light as a feather. There's no casing, and it looks Asian. The proper word, Sister Saint, is Asian. And then I picked up this here. No, this is my Statler. I already showed that. Then I got the Venus American Pencil Company from New York. Publix pencil, I already showed you that. This one from the Seacoast National Bank. Whenever you're in Florida, you have different banks like Jacalina, which is named after a shell, or Seacoast, or Palm Springs, or whatever the heck you put your retirement. If you're ever in a bind in Palm Beach or the Treasure Coast, and you need help with bills, you call 211. These float around everywhere. I found it at the thrift store. The eraser doesn't work. Next, I found this very interesting Merrill Lynch pencil. It has teeth marks, which my wife found to be very disturbing. That is not Shut up back there. And then this Kamenstein from Thailand. Let me see if I can get that. Kamenstein, Thailand. It doesn't have an eraser, so it's very well used. You can see how short it is. That's the thing about thrift store pencils. They're not like those nice clean ones you see on other videos. They're pencils that have been used, which gives them personality. So that is my new pencil hobby with my new pencil box, with my 3 books from the thrift store. I hope you had a good time. And what I want to tell you all is, if you don't like the video, like and subscribe it anyway, because I need more people to watch.